Hey guys, bad look, right? Like break that habit. I'm not some old school grump. You're fucking pathetic.
Welcome to this episode of The Pickup. We are on the North Shore for the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. I'm Tiff Casalis, I'm with Ashton Goggins and with the iconoclast, Joël Tudor. Let's begin with some news. Kelly Slater's HBO documentary.
For the last week and a half, Kelly Slater's been followed around by 3 massive broadcast quality cameras, sound rigs and audio people and producers, and filming that series 24/7 that they normally do about college basketball or football teams and boxers and stuff. Have you ever seen any of those?
Oh, because it might be his last year? Is that what it is? And I have a different opinion. I've watched him throughout his whole career, right? And I've been waiting for him to throw the towel in the last couple of years because it's hard to watch him losing to these guys, you know what I mean? I hope that they do a good job, that's all I can say. You know, it's not really on him, it's them, you know what I mean? You could do the one and the guy can make you like a total dick, right? I just feel like he could probably win another Pipe Masters or whatever, any of those ones, and just kind of like, that's right, kids, we're 47, what, you know? He's done way too much rad stuff. I think the Olympics and 2-foot beach break crap is, if that's gonna be your exit strategy, you know what I mean, good for you, but you've had some other, that's a sad way to go out, in my own opinion, but I mean, whatever, it's his call.
Wins the Pipe Masters, gives his spot to John.
Yeah, gives the spot to John and walks away, and it's just like, that's right, none of you will ever touch me, good luck. God damn it, throw the fucking towel in, dude, come on.
Let's step into Gossip Girls because we have to move on.
Oh, go ahead, what, sorry?
Yeah?
All right, what are we doing? Gossip, what's gossip?
I know that surfers like Kalohe and Dino have been delegating their social media responsibilities to significant others or to managers, and in last week's interview with John, we had him pull out his phone and found out that he only spends 1 hour a day on his phone. Meanwhile, kids like Kanoe Igarashi, where did we say? It said 8.5 hours each day.
But you want to see how long I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're not monitoring it.
Yeah, I don't monitor that shit. Who does that? Who cares? Like, what's the point of even looking? Because the last couple of years I came over here, I'd go to all these team houses, and every house I went into, they were either like this, maybe like 10 foot up front, you know what I mean? Or they're like this. And they're all like showing each other clips, do you know what I mean? And then I'm like, well, guys, it's like, there's a clip right there, like, what are you?
More of a Billabong team, Italo's entourage is here to party.
So it's been a pretty quiet few weeks at the Billabong house. This year they only rented the small house next to the Wave House. That iconic Wave House is rented by Hurley this year. So for the first year, no filmers or photographers, it's just team guys.
That's kind of a cool story. You know, I will say this, the Brazilians have a different position in coming here, and social media has totally created it. Like, when they get here, they kind of can't be touched. If you fuck with one of them, you'll die. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not making this up. You'll die, dude. Nowadays, if you say something dumb about Gabe, there's thousands, dudes, of people who'll kill you. Like, kill you. I don't know if you've been to Brazil, he'll fucking kill you. You know, they kind of walk around because they got a country that don't play. You know what I mean? America's soft. We don't do that anymore.
We might not gonna say the next gossip though. Gabriel Medina goes full Alicia Keys. It's not a secret, we know that Gabriel Medina doesn't give a shit about what the others gonna think about his image.
So you got cornrows, is that what you're saying? Watch him win the world title with him, you know what I mean? He'll be the one laughing, you know?
So Krista Funk and Margarita Saliak are 2 photographers I met last day at Pipe, and they took me out there, and I would advise you guys to not go to try to swim there if you have no idea of what the fuck you're doing. Let's do it!
Krista Funk, and I'm from Grand Junction, Colorado, 29 years old. I went to the Coast Guard Academy. My 5 years of active duty that I had to do were all here in Hawaii. I started doing photography and I kept doing it throughout my time, and now we're here.
My name is Margarita Saliak and I'm from Russia, Moscow. My friends invited me on a trip to Mentovas. I didn't have any idea how to take photos of surfers. Since then I just never stopped. It became my job, my hobby, and I changed my lifestyle completely.
Today we're just waiting for, honestly, a lull kind of like this, where it flattens out a lot.
That's the one thing with the North Shore. Like, the average person will drown just like with any water contact. And a lot of people don't realize that until they go and they go for a swim or whatever, or a cute little snorkel, and they're like, fuck, I can't get in.
And now, butter knives. We have a board. It's Nathan Fletcher boards.
So this is a stretch that Nathan Fletcher's parents, Herbie and Dibby, painted. Joel has a theory about who did what on this bad boy.
Not a theory. I know right away when I look at it, I could tell by just the paint colors and the patterns who did which one. And also I've seen, going to their house, I've seen the pattern. She painted the top for sure. And you can also tell Herbie's stuff on the bottom just because he always puts the little circles with paint drips and initials that kind of signify whoever he's making it for, whatever, the N for Nathan.
My mom and dad, they painted all 3 boards and then sent them back to Stretch. And so they signed it HF, DF, and so my dad always wrote that, and I wrote it when I was a little kid, and the A and the T, H, and so.
I'm sure there was a battle of swearing going down. I was like, fuck Dib, who's gonna paint the top? She was like, fuck Herb, you paint the bottom. And Herb's like, all right, fuck, I got it. And they painted it, and then it was done. I love them. They've been a huge part of my life. This is awesome to look at. And the fact that it's made for Nate's even cooler.
Me and Stretch have worked on this and riding 4 fins because I like this speed, and I feel like I'm very front foot to back foot guy. I'm never like flowing from a middle access point because I like to, When I tried the 4 fin, it was like, whoa, that was crazy. Trying to just do research and figure out what a 4 fin does because there's no real formula, I feel like.
How influential has Nathan Fletcher been on the last 20 years of surfboard design?
All you guys on those, you can thank him. All of you in big waves, all of you in small waves, it was all him, all on his own. It wasn't the first one to do it. Believe me, there have been tons of people. Nobody took it to the extreme that he did. You know, a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon afterwards. In reality, that was his biggest contribution, was just putting 4 fins back on the thing of choice for waves of consequence. It would make sense that their surfboards over time kind of evolved into water skates, which is exactly what that is.
Water skates.
That's a water skateboard. I mean, the deck's concave. If you know much about, you know, surfboards and the other shit, that's why if you notice I'm looking at it the whole time.
Stretch started doing these things where they're kind of extreme style skate decks, concave decks. Kind of locks your foot in, locks your chest in when you paddle.
That's what concave was intended for skateboards, was so that the board would stick to your feet when you're doing airs. Because your foot kind of has an arch in it, so you don't want the thing completely flat. You want to be able to, like, your toes grab a point or whatever it is, so that little arch on both sides is either for a heel gripping or your toes. People should skate more, understand that one a little bit.
And now, kittens and lions. Joel, you're a kitten or you're a lion? You begin with what you want.
My line would be Sonny Garcia. But he was the one that made the Kittens and Lions thing famous, right? Because that was always Sonny's deal. It's like, oh, you think you're hot? Wait till you get to Hawaii. And his generation of watching all these, like, you know, pussyfoot guys in 2 to 3 foot waves, and then they would get in real surf, and it was just like, you're average. A kitten?
What happened today?
Today there was a fight, and the cops came, and one guy pulled a knife. I saw that. That was the first thing I've ever seen. 2 boogie boarders fought. I swear to God, the wave was this big, which was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. They fought over a wave this big. I think somebody punched the other one in the white water, and then it went to the beach. And luckily, the cops here are cool.
Yeah, we have the clip. The cop
He was
walks up to him
he's like, I
so
was watching, he was
casual.
like, put the knife away, you know what I mean? Like, and he was like, the guy wouldn't put it away too for the longest time, and the cop just like stood there, like mediating.
This guy is this boogie boarder biscuit, we say in French.
Biscottis?
Yeah, biscottes. This
Like
was.
the biscuits that you put in
Yeah,
coffee?
exactly.
That's what French people call boogie
Yeah.
boards.
So it was my kitten, but as you gave it to Joel, you are my kitten. Let's move on. My lion is Ethan Osborne because we bumped into him at Foodland a few days ago after he just got knocked out of the contest. But he seemed to be handling pretty good as a champ. And you know what they say? You don't know what they say? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what they say. They say your response to winning or losing makes you a winner or a loser.
Everyone's a great winner, not people are good losers. You gotta be able to lose, right? Harry Bryant, in my opinion, is the MVP of the North Shore this year. He's winning on all levels, just for having fun and like, you know, cool to be around. He'll go out in anything. That's like an old school mentality, but at the same time enjoying what's here.
My line this week is Cam Richards. Joel and I were talking about this earlier, but I get so psyched when I see East Coast kids coming and putting in the time at Pipeline, and it shows that anybody that wants to come here and make a name for themselves, no matter if they're from South Carolina or New York, or they can.
There's always been like an East Coast guy that wants it because they don't have those waves at home. So they'll go out on the days the guys don't want to be out, and they'll catch the waves. Let me look at Brett Barley and look at Cam and look at every year it's like repeated. They want it. So if you want it, you can still get it.
My kitten this episode is Strider Wasilewski's eardrum. Strider stroked into the full bomb of the day and just packed it. Popped his eardrum, came up, and I'm told that the guys from the WSL haven't been giving him enough credit and have been kind of giving him a hard time for getting worked instead of lionizing him for what he is, so.
Strider ain't no kitten. When I first got to Hawaii, Strider was one of the people that taught me where to sit and where to go, and he was one of the only Californians that had a spot in the lineup. So if anyone thinks he's a kitten, you're tripping.
I guess this is the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Joel, for having been with us. Do you want to have the last word? Do you want to sign off here in this camera?
Sign us off, Joel.
I love you all.
And if he yells at you on the internet, he's on an iPhone 5S.
I'm not yelling at you, dude. You're tripping. Just remember, you're getting 5 minutes of my coffee time. I have to do this. This is like, this is so crucial. Give me that. Are you guys live? Do you have sound? Rolling. All right, I'm redoing my kitten again. The kitten this week is all of you with limp handshakes. I cannot, for the life of me, men or women, for that, like, if you go to shake my hand and you, what is that shit? Like, are you kidding me?
It's like
and it's
grabbing a
not like
fish.
some like carpenter, like tough guy, I'm an iron worker, and you like squeeze the guy's hand. Like that's you're over the top and you're dick.
not the
You're
Trump
being a
handshake that
dick.
you're
But
going
like,
for.
if that's our first introduction in life and you give me a limp handshake, right? Hey guys, bad look, right? Like break that habit. I'm not some old school grump. You're fucking pathetic.